LG is an interesting company to say the least. Now, the LG V60 by no means is any stray when it comes to LG's values and what LG really does try to show in the smartphone market. Now, what I want to really use to describe the LG V60 is the oddball. I like to really look at it like the oddball out, the odd one on the playground. So if you can imagine to be on a playground with all the other smartphones out there, the S20, the OnePlus 8 and everything, the LG V60 is the one that's playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards when everyone else is playing with Pokemon cards. Like, I mean, personally, I love Pokemon cards, but Yu-Gi-Oh can be cool, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is the LG V60 really worth it or really dope to even begin with, considering it's playing with Yu-Gi-Oh versus Pokemon? So I guess I want to answer that in this video. Hey guys, Darsh here. Nice to see you all again. Hope you are all doing great. So today I want to take a look at the LG V60 and exactly what I think about the premium smartphone led by LG for this year, the V60. So I guess without any further ado, we'll get into it. But before we do that, I do want to say hello to everyone who's new watching. Nice to meet you. I know a lot of you guys are not subscribed, so definitely go hit that subscribe button down there. Click the bell notification icon so you guys can be updated when my new videos come out. And yeah, let's get right into this video. So let's start out with the unboxing experience. So opening it up, the first thing that comes with the phone is a microfiber cloth, which is honestly a really nice addition. And underneath that, we have the phone wrapped in plastic. We have a charging cable and a really thick power brick. For all those ASMR fans out there, here's a little bit just for you. In the box for the LG dual screen, we have the screen, an instruction manual, and this little magnetic charging adapter so you can charge the phone while it's in its case. It actually is really reminiscent of Apple's old MagSafe technology. And what I mean by this is that essentially the bottom is a magnet and it just kind of fits in place and is super strong. I honestly, when I was repackaging the phone itself and the charge, like the dual screen, putting it back inside with all the magnet, it's really hard to figure out. Anyway though, moving aside from that, LG also was super kind to include some goodies, so huge thank you to LG for making that possible and letting me swag out with some really cool LG merch. Now, the LG V60, as I mentioned, is definitely the odd one out, and that's not always a bad thing. Though LG doesn't really include a 60 Hz or 120 Hz display, they don't have a telephoto lens, they still have a headphone jack. Do you remember what a headphone jack is? They also included a huge notch and a really thick bezel. Yeah, I mean, it's not really looking good for LG, but within these kind of weird features, they do lie some really cool things and characteristics that do make it stand out in my opinion. And the first one I do want to talk about is the elephant in the room being the dual screen. So the dual screen is definitely kind of cool and it's kind of in a case. So it's for a niche audience. So the case essentially offers a secondary screen for the phone. The screen is literally the exact same offered with the V60. So it still has a notch with no camera in it and an earpiece slit so you can use the microphone in the speaker while it's in the case. Now the screen case personally, I was not a huge fan of. This is mostly because it genuinely feels just like a giant bulky case in my pocket. Like I wasn't actually able to like feel as a slim phone that it was, rather it was just this big bulky case. Now, another reason why I wasn't really into it was the fact that there's a huge hinge in the middle of the two screens, which makes it kind of hard to use. So though it is a cool addition to have the secondary screen, when you try to really interact between the two displays, you just get kind of confused. And for me, honestly, I can't watch a YouTube video while I'm reading Twitter. I get distracted. Now, I feel like that's most of us. Now, there's also a really cool feature where you can actually stretch the entire screen across both screens. And that would be really cool if the hinge wasn't there, but because of the hinge, it kind of sucks. One thing that I do want to say about the screen that I do commend to LG is the gaming experience. Now, using this actually gives me mad Nintendo DS vibes. So it's pretty cool because you can use one screen for the D-pad and for like the joysticks that makes it really reminiscent of like a Nintendo DS. So that was kind of fun, and I was playing Asphalt 9 like that, which was pretty cool as well. Now, don't get really excited yet because it still isn't optimized for a lot of apps, so you do have to wait before your favorite games like mine, Call of Duty Mobile, will actually make it onto the platform. Now, the screen case also has a front plate of glass that is super reflective and has a small non-touch e-display to show quick info like the always-on display with the phone, just a little worse. Now, speaking of super reflective, the back of the phone is a glass panel as well, and in this case is actually in a really nice blue color. They call it classy blue, and the combination of gold railings on the side and the blue is genuinely my favorite combination that LG could have done. Now, there is also a triple camera display in the back with one ultra-wide camera and one normal camera, plus a depth sensing camera. So there's no telephoto camera here like the other flagships you'd expect it from. Now, I'll get into the camera in a bit, but for the main camera, we have a 64 megapixel, and for the ultra-wide, we have a 13 megapixel, and the 64 megapixel actually shoots 8K video, which is genuinely really dope. Now, this is why I also say the V60 is the odd one out. Because if you move to the front of the phone, you can see that there's a massive bezel and a notch. And it's like a teardrop notch, but like it's still very visible. So I guess LG really is standing out from the crowd in that sense, because like everyone's kind of gotten rid of it. In a year where most hole punches in the screen, or most like notches are now hole punches, and the bezels are so minimal, and especially in huge flagships, I would expect a lot more from LG, but it was kind of hard to see. Though there was a huge notch and there is a huge amount of bezel around the screen, the 20.5:9 aspect ratio and the 6.8-inch form factor definitely make it a big phone to handle. But besides all that, LG's display technology kind of makes it worth it. Because of LG's experience with making TVs, and gorgeous TVs at that, they offer really vivid with deep true blacks and just a general really nice screen to view and have. On the sides, we have those gorgeous gold rails as well, and on the bottom of the phone actually we have a headphone jack. And it's kind of nice to have, even though I don't actually own wired headphones anymore. And the only ones I actually do have are these pair of skull candies that I refuse to use. But yeah, the headphone jack also comes fitted with a quad hi-fi DAC, allowing for higher quality audio and extra power to the headphones of your choice. Now, though consuming content on this phone is great, creating content on it isn't the same. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things with this, but mainly it's going to be the camera. So the cameras are pretty okay, and they'll get you a good solid pic if you do really go into good lighting conditions. But I found some issues with autofocus, and mainly with just moving subjects. So I have a little dog, and I tried taking pictures of him with the phone for samples because I can't really leave my house. And I couldn't really get a clear shot all the time. I was facing a lot of just really blurry shots while he was moving around because he's a little camera shy. But besides that though, there are a cool couple of mentions I do want to give out to LG. So first off is the Bokeh voice effect. So basically isolates your voice while you're making video, which could be really cool if you're trying to make vlogs, because it can really isolate for your voice. We also have ASMR recording, which is meant for like, I guess like mukbangs, if you're trying to eat on camera or something like that. That's pretty cool. Also just general like ASMR type things. I tried shooting one here, but I don't know how it turned out. All right, so this is an example of the voice bokeh effect on the phone. I have a fan running, my window's open, my parents are outside talking really loudly. Like I'm in a loud environment, so let's see exactly how it isolates my voice. Now, we also have LG's phone featuring an 8K video recording capability. So basically, with the main camera, you can shoot in full 8K, which is great. So it kind of makes up for the whole no telephoto camera thing, because if you zoom in, you can kind of still get good, clear pictures, but I would have expected a telephoto lens at least. I like the telephoto lens. Anyway though, the 8K video recording is pretty dope, and with the wide angle camera, LG did give a pretty decent and strong camera solution for its users. Now the camera also has an AI feature that optimizes its shots for you, and has this 3D photo effect that you actually get on Snapchat, which is pretty cool as well. The camera also shoots with HDR10+, offering over 10 million colors with great contrast. And I feel like, honestly, with these features, most of them you do need prime lighting conditions. But the overall night mode in the phone is honestly insane, as shown by the videos here. Now, other than that, the camera is pretty normal, nothing crazy, and it'll get the job done. But because of the aspect ratio, don't expect any dope Snapchats, because you're going to get black bars on each side. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on was the overall performance. So here are the specs for all the spec junkies, but the phone has 4 things I want to touch on. For 1, the in-screen fingerprint sensor, 2, 5G capabilities, 3, battery life, and 4, the LG UI. Now, the in-screen fingerprint sensor is pretty simple. It's really fast, has a really cool animation, and I really like having an in-screen fingerprint sensor over Face ID, because when I'm in bed, I feel like it doesn't work as well. Now, 5G capabilities, this is one of the first full 5G capable phones available in Canada right now, and having the opportunity to check it out is definitely dope, but it only works if you're on TELUS and Bell for right now, so just keep that in mind if you're looking to pick this one up. Now, battery life is honestly insane here. I was getting a solid 6 to 7 hours on a daily use, and I was using my phone pretty heavy, having been indoors so much. I spent maybe 4 to 5 hours a day on TikTok, but regardless, it was a pretty dope phone to have when it came to battery life, because it really did pull through. But with the dual display, it does kind of leech a bit of battery off of you, so beware of that. Now, we also have LG UI. So LG UI has been notorious over the past couple of years for just being, I'll just say, trash. And though it has had a few minor improvements, it's grown on me. I feel like switching back from an iPhone to an LG phone has made it very simple, because it's a very simplistic phone. There are features that you don't have to use. There are general, like a huge amount of customization settings. So I was really able to make the phone how I like it, but while also not making it super overly complicated. And if I really did want to give it to like my parents or someone who was used to an iPhone, I can make it really simple for my parents to use, and they'd pick it up like this. So kudos to you, LG, for figuring that out. Now, the overall conclusion. What do I think of this phone? I think the phone is definitely pretty cool. The dual screen is a bit of a gimmick, but then again, it's one of those things that I feel like requires a certain touch or preference. But the overarching question, should you buy it? In my case, no, I'm not buying an LG V60. I feel like though it is an amazing phone, for me, the dual screen doesn't really help. And overall, I'm really into the design of phones, and being so tech forward, I would really appreciate having a phone with smaller bezels and less of a notch. But other than that though, the color, the overall design, amazing. The heft in the hand, beautiful. And overall, that's just my opinion with the LG V60. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And to show you made it to the end of the video, drop a comment below. Tell me what your favorite fruit is. Yeah, your favorite fruit. Let me know what your favorite fruit is. Maybe we'll psych out the rest of the audience down there. Thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, everything under the rainbow. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Later.